What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full removing Pokemon ability team. Now this is a super niche, interesting theme team, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. I actually came up with this one on my Twitch, and we had all my viewers here. We sort of like, everyone was sort of like throwing ideas around. So big shout out to you guys, and thank you for coming up with an awesome idea. I polished off this team, put some cool moves onto it, and I did some battles. Now I got a couple of battles that were really good, and I hope you enjoyed. Now a real quick shout out to all the YouTube members at the moment. Hope you're enjoying your early upload a couple of hours beforehand. If you do want to get your uploads early before anyone else, you can become a member by hitting the join button. Of course, this is voluntary, and you also get some custom emojis, comments, and maybe some private streaming as well in the future. Just trying to add some extra stuff there, but thank you to all the support which goes towards the channel. Let's get into this video. So we've got some interesting battles tonight, to say the least, and we're going to make use of some really kind of out there combos to really suit this team. So remember, we're trying to remove the Pokemon, the opponent's Pokemon's ability, and then actually do some kind of damage to them and win the battle at the same time. So it's a really good challenge. So obviously, I'm not going to stay into the big crab because I am going to get it punched. I'm going to get Drain Punch really hard there. So I'm going to swap in Kofferigus, and obviously there's a Ghost type, which was a nice swap in there. So we've got the Ice Hammer hitting the Kofferigus. Does some pretty solid damage too. Now this Kofferigus, I had to really use it on this team because Mummy is sort of like, it's like an ability I got to use in this team. Pretty much what Mummy does, it's sort of like, it's just an ability that spreads everywhere, right? It doesn't really do anything, just gets rid of your ability and gives you the ability Mummy, right? So it's sort of like, I guess you could sort of say it's like Poker Rust, right? You get, it just keeps spreading everywhere. So anyway, we got the Ice Hammers from the Carabominal. It's actually lowering its speed. I'm going to be going for the Z Curse here, which is going to heal up all my health, and it's going to cut my heart, you know, it's going to cut my health in half, and put that curse on the opponent. So in case the opponent didn't activate the Mummy ability, right, I thought, I'm going to give it skill swap. So I could mean look them and skill swap them, and you know, they'd have no choice but to get the Mummy ability. Now, the problem with this, right, it was good for this team, but it was also very problematic because Mummy could keep spreading over and over and over again, right? And that would actually get rid of my abilities. Some of them actually were very, you know, involved and very important for this team. So I didn't really want to spread Mummy around, like kept, you know, spreading it back and forth, because that could be really bad. Anyway, so we've got the big crab getting trapped in by the curse. This cursed mean look strategy was pretty much so my Kofferigus could actually do something besides, you know, giving the opponent Mummy and, just getting KO'd, right? So we're gonna, I just can't do anything here. I've got Pain Spit as my recovery move, Mean Look, Curse, and Skill Swap. It was obviously it was a set that was really, really like involved around the Pokemon, or just getting rid of the opponent's ability. So we've got the crab going down there. It actually outsped me quite a few times after using Ice Hammer, which was pretty interesting too. So now we've got the Shuckle coming in. So this was really, really good because Shuckle, or a Pokemon like Shuckle, was one I wanted to actually verse. So we got a Pokemon here being the Excadrill. So obviously, as the nickname suggests, I've called it High Sturdy because I'm really after sturdy Pokemon. I was so happy and pleased that I got to verse a sturdy Pokemon. So Shuckle's going to go for the Infestation. I'm guessing it's going to be like the, you know, the usual Toxic Infestation set. Now I can't get poison, but I was wondering, what else is going to do to me. Hornrill is going to miss. Now, usually, the opponent has Sturdy, right? And if you use a one-hit KO move against him, Sturdy's going to come up and say, you know, it failed. However, with the Mold Breaker ability, which, you know, busts through abilities, basically ignores them, it actually gets through the Sturdy, and I'm able to hit the Hornrill right in the Shuckle's little blue hole. Anyway, so that Shuckle tried to set up like scumbag double team against me too. One thing to note is moves like Hornrill, Fissure, those one-hit KO moves, they are unaffected by double team. So they got absolutely bodied them. Alright, so now we got a Hornrill. It's going to miss on the Marowak. Marowak is going to take me out with a bone. So that's alright. You know, High Sturdy actually got round a sturdy Pokemon. So I was very, very happy to show you guys that one, and, you know, for it to be showcased in this battle. Alright, so it gets even better, people. This, I must say, this was a very difficult team to get good battles for, mainly because I had to use my strategies right. Alright, so we're going to go for the Malamar. We're going to give the Marowak the ability Simple. So Simple Beam is quite an interesting move. It actually gives the opponent Simple, right, as the ability. So it's kind of like, I guess it's sort of like Mummy, right? You give their ability, but instead of being a Mummy, it's Simple. Alright, so I'm going to hit 2 times by the Boomerang. I'm running a very, very defensive Malamar set. Now we're going to go for Flash, right, because that flash right is going to drop the accuracy of the Marowak by 2, but unfortunately for me, the Boner actually hits me twice in a row, and I don't get that miss. I was really hoping for the miss, then I could go for the rest afterwards. So Malamar not getting too lucky in that situation. That was a Simple Beam, Bind, Flash, Rest, Suction Caps ability, and item Grip Claw set. Unfortunately, it didn't work too well for me. Alright, so we got the Marowak going for the Sword Dance here, starting to get pretty scary against my Koffringus. Koffringus is going to go for the Curse. I was like, the best I can pretty much do is live the next attack right, put that Curse up, and at least I might be able to, do something against the Marowak, maybe Revenge KO it later on. Alright, so getting that Curse up, Marowak's probably not likely to swap because it's already got a Sword Dance up, and this thing is like, hits super hard. Bonerang actually misses. Now, how is that for irony, right? I wanted it to miss with the Simple Beam Flash set, but it didn't. But, against no accuracy modifiers and stuff, it actually misses. So there you go. Maybe a little bit of karma there for me. Marowak is going to go down the next one, so obviously it's going to have to choose about going for the Bonerang now or going for a swap to preserve its health and, the Pokemon in general. It's going to go for the KO on me. However, that Curse is going to take out the Marowak too, so that's really, really good there. Taking that Pokemon out was really kind of dangerous. So we got the Koffringus down, we got the extra drill, we got the Malamar. I still have like half my team left, and at the moment I was actually really happy with how the team was performing, and mainly I was able to pull off some of my strategies. So we're going to bring in the Ivysaur now. Now this Ivysaur has a move that you probably rarely ever see called Worry Seed. Now Worry Seed is quite an interesting move, but don't worry guys, I will explain it. Sorry, I had to do that. So Worry Seed basically is a grass type move, and it gives the opponent the ability Insomnia, so it's quite interesting. So having Worry Seed as a move on here is kind of hard to come up with like a strategy, so I thought, okay, so I'm going to have to kind of come up with a strategy to trap the opponent in with like Bind, and then I've got Leech Seed, and I've got Skull Bash as well to boost my defense, and of course have some sort of like attacking moves. We got max health, max special defense with the Everlight, and after this thing had a couple of Skull Bash boosts, it was super bulky. So pretty much, I was trying to find a Pokemon that had rest if this strategy worked. Once again, very, very situational, and this Ivysaur actually came up against Pokemon with rest, which is really good. Now, I know Type No a lot of time does run rest, which is really good too, so I was hoping, it was running a rest set. If not, I had to come across like another, usually it'd be Rest Sleep Talk, right? So pretty much that's what I was kind of hoping for, that I come across in these battles. We live on 2 health there, and I get some more Leech Seed recovery, which is really nice. So I was just going to get some bind damage and some Leech Seed against this thing. That's the best I could possibly do at the moment. There really wasn't much I could actually achieve here. So we got the Skull Bash in. Now Skull Bash is going to boost my defense by 1 stage, which actually makes this thing like super, super bulky. And now we've got the Type Null going for the rest. I was like super excited. I'm like, I can use Worry Seed against this thing and stop it from using rest. And also you guys get to see what happens when you use Worry Seed on a sleeping Pokemon. So, as you guys know, if you got the ability Insomnia, rest will fail. Now, if you are asleep, right, and then someone changes your ability to Insomnia, obviously using Worry Seed, what'll happen, right, is your ability of Insomnia actually come up on the screen. That animation, though, is pretty cool. Obviously, you swap your abilities, and then Insomnia will kick in, and it'll wake you up, right? So, you'll instantly wake up. So, that was really good. Sleep Talk's going to fail because, obviously, they thought they'd be asleep. So that was awesome. I'm really glad I got to show at least this moveset off. And it was actually working pretty good, like stalling out this Type Null, which was awesome. I think Toxic could work really good in this situation too. But I was sort of like stuck in one of those, those 5 move slot syndrome things. How you've got like 5 really good moves, but you can't really put them all in one set. Yeah, that was kind of one of those times. So pretty much, yeah, the Type Null cannot swap out. And the best damage it can really do to me is return. Now, Leech Seed was actually starting to recover pretty much all the damage that Type Null was doing to me due to my earlier Skull Bashes raising my defense run. So we're going to go for another Skull Bash there again. It's not really doing a lot. It's pretty much there just to boost my, Ivysaur's defenses and it not being taunt bait. So getting some more Leech Seed recovery on the Ivysaur. Now, Ivysaur is in a pretty good position to actually take this out. So go for another Skull Bash, and I was kind of hoping I could get rid of this Type Null. The problem is, if it did swap out, it might be able to use Rest again. Obviously, after you swap out that Worry Seed, that Insomnia ability is going to go away. So I really wanted to trap it. Unfortunately, the Type Null is going to live on like 1 health, merch available for people. And they're going to be able to swap it. Really unfortunate there, I couldn't get that. Now, this was really good. Like, we got Shedinja here. So I was like, okay, this is kind of good. I could use Leech Seed here, or I could use the strategy that I really want to do with my Smeagol. So I thought I might be able to swap in Smeagol here and try something out. After this, I was kind of thinking they may not stay in. Like, Shedinja is very, very weak to stuff like Toxic, Leech Seed, things like that. And the Xatu is going to come in and bounce away my Leech Seed. So now it's going to go for the Nightshade. Nightshade is going to do a fixed amount of damage, being 50 in this case to me. I really can't do anything, but I was definitely thinking about bringing maybe Smeagol against that Shedinja. I had a good strategy for that, but I'm not going to reveal that at the moment. So I'm going to go down to Rocky Helmet. It's more of like a support style Xatu there. I can see that with Nightshade, Rocky Helmet. Definitely give it away. Definitely think it's probably got Roost too. So into Smeagoleo here. So you're probably thinking, why is it called Smeagoleo? Let me tell you why. This Smeagol set was a offensive set with Belly Drum. We got Belly Drum, Spore, Conversion, and Sunsteel Strike. Now, this is a classic example. Sunsteel Strike, the move actually ignores abilities. So Sunsteel Strike actually hits through the, the Wonder Guard on the Shedinja, and it takes it out one shot. I was like, that was awesome. So at this point, I was like over the moon. I was like, this is awesome. My team is actually, bound to use a lot of its strategy against it, which is really cool. All right, so we're going to go for the Sunsteel Strike here against the Xatu. Now, Conversion obviously converts me into a Steel type, giving me further stab as well. Getting some really good damage there off with the Rocky Helmet and stuff. The Belly Drum and Sunsteel Strike. Unfortunately, the Rocky Helmet and the U-turn is going to be enough to take out Smeagol. I was very disappointed in that. I was like, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to take it out one shot, but it's cool. All right, so the last Pokemon we got here is the Titan Null, which is a 1 health. I've got my Trent. So Trent is not designed to actually be the last Pokemon. I need another Pokemon for this strategy to actually work. So I have no attacking moves on this at all. I'll be able to show you this set more in the second battle. However, we're going to get the Toxic up on the Type Null. Type Null goes for a return instead. So I'm like, okay, good. At least I can take that one out. If I went for rest there, I definitely would have lost. Like, right there, I would have lost. So that one is down. Now, we still have that Xatu left. That's pretty much it. So, the strategy I've got with the Trent, I will let you know on what that is. So, obviously, we're going to use the Truant ability. I've got Entrainment Truant. Unfortunately, for this one, it's going to bounce straight off that Magic Bounce on the Xatu. Xatu completely and utterly counters this set, if not most of the Pokemon on this team. And it was a big, big problem. But what I want to take away from this battle, right, is so many of my strategies actually worked, and I was able to show them off. So I was very, very proud of this battle. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one and got to see something new and maybe some extra mechanics you don't often see, or some moves you don't really often see in use or at all. So Xatu's going to take me out the Nightshade there. That's cool. I'll get to show you that Durant set off a little bit in the second battle. So thank you for the battle. Let's go on to the second one. This was against Skylar. And boy, this was quite an interesting battle too. So we've got 2 battles in a row with Shedinja. I was like, this is awesome, right? I get to actually, I might be able to, use my Smeagol to get around the Shedinja the same way I did in the first battle. So we got the Squid, the Malamar, so simple as the first leap. I was like, okay, I can't stand to that one at all. We're going to go into Smeagoleo here and then just go for, Scumsteel Strike straight away. Now we got the X-Scissor from the Shedinja, and it takes me out in one shot. I thought I actually lived that one kind of badly, but I didn't. So that was the problem. I was like, damn, I lost my Smeagol so early on. Like, I didn't want to do that. So we're going to go into Cofferigger. So I can either here go for the Curse, or I can just, go for that's pretty much all I can do. I was thinking Curse, or I just hope for a swap. Now, the Mummy is actually going to change Shedinja's Wonder Guard to Mummy, which is awesome. Glad you got to see that one. And now we're going to go for the Curse. So Curse is going to actually do, obviously normally it does a quarter damage to a Pokemon. Since Shedinja only has 1 health, right, it's just got a 1-hit KO. So that was awesome getting around it. So I was happy to get around that one too. It's always quite an interesting Pokemon to get around if you don't have status. And if you don't have a super effective move, you're walled pretty much. Now, this was another fail, man. As you guys remember the Malamar in the first battle when I was trying to, use Simple Beam on the opponent, give them the Simple ability. If you don't know what the Simple ability basically is, say if you use something like Sword Dance, right, it'll double the effect of stats, right, or stat boosting or stat lowering, things like that. So say if you get a +2 in attack, then you'll get a +2, +4 in attack. So everything's like doubled, basically. All stat changes are doubled. So we got the Diglett here called Ducklet. It's going to go for a Fly Inium Z Supersonic Scum Strike. So guys, this is rare footage, right, of Diglett actually flying through there. So I can imagine, right, picking a pebble off the road, just tossing it into the air. That's sort of what I kind of imagine when I see Diglett flying in there. So firstly, we're going to go for the bind on the Diglett. Now, the thing that I liked about Bind the most, like normally using Bind, look how small the Bind is on the Diglett. Looks hilarious. So Diglett is trapped in, right, which is quite ironic considering it's got Arena Trap as its ability. And it's going to go for the Earthquake. Now, I was running a very, very defensive Malamar, max health, max defense. So that was, doing monkeys to me, right? So now we're going to go for the Simple Beam. So Simple Beam is going to obviously get rid of that Arena Trap and give Ducklet. Man, all these Pokemon called other names. It's not good for me, people. It's not good for me at all, as you guys know. So the Ducklet is going to fly. I think they called it Ducklet because it flies, right? That'll make sense to me. All right, so we've got the Malamar taking another Earthquake. Now I was thinking, okay, I can go for Flash here, right? Now Flash is going to drop the accuracy on that Diglett, which is going to give it a -2, which is cool. So like, okay, I can keep going for Flash like 3 times in a row and then go for rest. This strategy is going to work. They're going to go down to the Bud. But of course, they've got Aerial Ace as their move. I can't believe I got countered twice. Like, that was a solid hard counter. The first one was just like unlucky because I didn't get a miss. But this one was just like a straight up counter because Aerial Ace never misses. It doesn't matter, how you change their accuracy or whatever like that. Actually, I need a drink. Okay, so my poor Malamar getting some binds off. I mean, the best thing that kind of came out of this was the Diglett actually, being on low health. And it was actually available to take out with another Pokemon. At this stage, I had to swap out the Malamar because it was walled, or it just couldn't run its role, right? I didn't want to lose it. Aerial Ace completely countered. I was salty about that. So now we're going to go to Truant. I haven't actually shown off my Truant strategy against this team at all, or really against you guys. So I went for the Toxic here, so I thought, that'd be pretty good because Diglett will, go down to Toxic in one turn, and I won't really show up my strategies because Truant won't come up until like the second turn when I try and attack up. So good thing is that they went for Sucker Punch. That's going to fail. I take no damage and Diglett goes down. So I took a Diglett out, which is good, guys. So, sometimes you just have to take Diglett out. So now we've got the Duskull coming in here. I do not want to reveal my strategy at the moment. They probably guessed because if you guys didn't notice, I sort of like tried to nickname my Pokemon after like the strategy I was using. And now we got the Will-O-Wisp missing on my Ivysaur. Wasn't actually too worried about that. So firstly, I thought, okay, I can set the Leech Seed up against the Duskull. I would have loved Toxic against this thing, but I don't have it. Now, there is a big problem, right? As you guys know what my Ivysaur set is, right? It's a Bind set. So, obviously, that's a normal type move, and that's a Ghost type Pokemon. So, we can already see problems happening there. So, I was thinking, what should I do? Should I just go for Leech Seed and maybe go for, maybe just go for a Worry Seed and, get rid of its ability. So, we're going to get rid of Levitate. So, I was just sort of thinking, okay, we got rid of its Levitate, right? I might be able to bring in my Excadrill and hit it with a Fissure, right? Because normally I couldn't hit this Pokemon at all. If you think about a Horndrill, it's not going to affect it because it's Ghost. And the Fissure, right, is not going to affect it because it's got the Levitate ability. So I was thinking, okay, this would be really cool, right? Because I could get rid of the Levitate and then bring that in. So I was thinking, okay, can't do anything more with my Ivysaur. Let's go into High Sturdy here. Let's shake things up a little bit, pun the pun. So, getting that Mold Breaker, not that it really mattered because I could get rid of the Levitate ability. It's just kind of nice actually hitting, say I had another Pokemon than Fissure. That would have been nice. So, Mold Breaker is really, really cool. I had to run that on this team because Mold Breaker literally counters abilities and it's really, really cool. So, we got the Fissure here. Absolute redundancy on the Worry Seed, and Duskull's going to go down to the first Fissure. So, I was super happy about that one. We did like a super redundant Fissure Worry Seed. Man, you don't get to see that one too often. So now we got it. So we get this right. We had a Shuckle and a Shedinja in both battles. Horndrill's gonna land against the Shuckle. I can't believe that happened in both battles. That was so good. Like you just I couldn't get too much better battles than that to show off this this strategy. So now we got the Pichu coming in now. This was actually a pretty scary mon. Let's see what happens, people. You will see what happens. So I smelled a little bit of salt there. My scum detector was sort of going off. I just wanted to see what's going on there. It's going to go for the reversal, and I live a crit. Did you see how much that did? So now Malamar, right, can go for a rest. However, Pichu's going to outspeed me and take me out with the Thunder Punch. Disappointment. I could have actually healed up there, but, that's the game, people. All right, so we've got 3 more Pokemon left, and we got 2 more Pokemon to take out. So firstly, we're going to get rid of this Pichu. Now, I went for the Fissure here. Now, Fissure's going to miss first turn. This is going to go for reversal. So, as soon as I seen reversal, I'm thinking, okay, it's probably going to have a focus sash, right? I could go into my Ivysaur and try and get around. I thought, nah, let's go for fissure against it. You know, they've already seen me using fissure. They may go for a different move this turn. And it's going to kick in with the focus sash there. So, okay, that's fine. And now we're going to get the full power reversal, and that's my Excadrill down. I mean, they could have easily gone for another move there. I'm not really sure what else it had, but that is down. I've got my Ivysaur as the last Pokemon. So, it's like, okay, I can use the Skull Bash or Leech Seed against this and take it out. Now, we come to a little bit of a dilemma. You'll get to see this soon enough. So we're going to get hit there, and that's going to finish it off with the Leech Seed. It does a fair bit of damage to me, but definitely not going to bust through my bulky Ivysaur. Now, as you guys know, with my Durant, I usually don't like leaving it to the last Pokemon unless they've got one Pokemon left. So say if you verse against two, there's, you know, Durant's not going to be able to beat more than like one Pokemon most of the time with this strategy. All right, so we've got Mime Junior Senior. I'm not sure what that the nickname actually meant, but we got the Truant coming in. So I was thinking, okay, if this Pokemon has Rest, right, this would be so good if I could give it like Truant, right, or just generally make it a damn pain in the ass, you know, to come up against. So I thought, okay, we'll go for the entrainment on the Mime Junior. Now, giving it the Truant will actually make it only attack every second turn. So it won't be able to have Filter, which is a really good ability on a bulky Mr. Mime Jr. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to do is give it the Truant ability. Then my Ivysaur could actually generally take it out then. So we got the Truant and the Mime Junior here. What I wanted to do, right, is I wanted to have the opponent Truanting, right, and then me going for an attacking move or like something, or when we both had, like, say we were both in sync, right, I was going to try and give them the Truant, get the Toxic off, and then protect on every time I got attacked. So when we both were Truanting, we couldn't do anything, and when we both could attack right, I could go for protect and sort of like stall them out with that strategy. That was the idea anyway. It was a very, very gimmicky strategy. It was actually very hard to make, you know, Truant sort of like work with it, with this theme team. It was very, very limited. Anyway, so I'm going to be loafing around a little bit there, and we got another loaf of, well, Carlos bread, people. That was sort of like a meme. You know how you like had like a Carlos bread Pokemon, like Bread and Carlos? Yeah, I guess that kind of meme came off there. So we're going to go for protect this time, but stalling out that Mime Junior. Now I thought here, I could set up like a Leech Seed against that with the Ivysaur, but I was thinking I might be able to just take it out with the Toxic, right? This, you know, Nick, and he keeps like probably 6 turns. If you poison a Pokemon with Toxic, it takes like 6 turns to take them out. So now we're going to go for the swap here on the Durant, back into the Ivysaur. I can easily throw up that Leech Seed against this thing, which is going to be like super duper handy. And, you know, I got the Skull Bash to actually do some physical damage against it too. Now, Mime Jr. is very, very bulky on the special side. You'd be quite surprised how bulky it is. But on the defensive side, not so much. So I just want to show you guys there. If you go for Worry Seed on Truant, it will fail. So the Worry Seed does fail against some abilities. I thought that would be a good showcase to actually, you know, just show it off. Unfortunately for me, guys, you can see what's going to happen now. Mime Jr. actually has Rest. So me giving it Truant actually sort of really, it really did bugger my strategy up, because Truant, of course, is handy, right? Because they won't attack every single turn. But now this thing can actually, you know, it can heal itself off of Rest, which is a, you know, a really, really big problem. Now, whether I can actually PP stall out was another thing, because I did have 2 Pokemon, but it was a problem. So now we're going to go for the bind on the Mime Jr. That's the thing, right? I could have easily gone for, I didn't know that it had Rest. That was the problem, right? That was the number 1 problem. Does it have Rest or not? I wasn't sure. Now, if I gave it Worry Seed from the start, Rest would fail every single time. It was the last Pokemon. So that was sort of like the strategy I used with my Durant and Ivysaur. Like, if I could get them down to the last Pokemon, that would work. Obviously, if you had Worry Seed on the Durant, it would fail. So you guys can check up online. There are, if you go to like Bulbapedia and stuff, there are like little, you know, special moves that won't work against things, and lots of little situations. They're really cool, interesting things to find out about. But basically, if you can't put a Pokemon, I guess I was thinking like you can make like some really cool strategies. Say a Pokemon had Truant, right? Say a Slaking, right? And you're playing with that, or any other Pokemon Truant, you use Worry Seed against them, saying it doubles, and then, you know, instantly they wouldn't have Truant, right? They'd have Insomnia, which is like insanely good, and then the, you know, the Slaking could go on like a rampage. I guess things like that. So we got there, finally stalling out this Mime Jr. It only had Infestation to really actually do against me at all. I'd say I had like maybe like just a stalling rest sleep talk instead. I'd say it probably would have been max health and max special defense. That's usually what's pretty good, and obviously we had the field ability. But that's pretty much it for this theme team. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This took so long to do these battles. Like, it was a very, very difficult team. I hope you appreciate that. If you enjoyed the theme team, drop a like on the video, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?